It is a squishy, squashy, wet day. Even the dog doesn't want to walk through this wet, muddy area. Poor thing, getting your little feet's all wet. We had a very heavy rainfall last night, but it has stopped now, so I'm gonna go ahead and get these goats out so they can enjoy the rest of the day that's supposed to be clear. They didn't have that much hay left from yesterday. I hate to waste it, but we have two big holes that we're filling in with hay that were caused when we had the hog. The hog made the wallows to mud in right there. So I've been, every time I have to dump out the hay, if it gets rained on or if it seems like they're not eating it, then I dump it out into those holes and they don't touch it in there. And then they get their nice fresh new hay in their feeder, and they like that. They don't like it when it's old. I don't let them eat it if it's wet, but they wouldn't anyway. They would just ignore it and starve before they would eat hay off the ground or that's been wet or stepped on. They won't eat it if it's been stepped on either, because sometimes, like in the doling stall, the dolings will step in the hay basket and they'll just stop eating it at that point. So I'll find a hay basket full of footprints and nobody's eating it anymore. So goats waste a lot of hay, which is really difficult because hay isn't cheap. And but I look at it this way: if we can use it to fill in a hole or mulch a garden or raise up the ground where the water is washing away the soil, then we're at least repurposing what is wasted as feed hay to use it as mulch. So that works to ease my mind a little bit on how much goats do waste. But remember, never ever feed your goats off of the ground. If the hay is touching the soil, there's parasites crawling on that hay now, and they are consuming the parasites. That is how goats and other livestock get parasites, is by eating off of the ground. So be sure that you do not feed your animals on the ground. It's really, really bad management practice. So don't do it. Shady, you're a slow eater. I've already milked you and brought the hay out for the girls. You got some big belly happening though, don't you? Nice wide load. So with goats, the left side of their body is where the rumen is located. So oftentimes you see big bellies on the left, and left is lunch. That's how we remember it. And right is runts. So when they start growing just as big on this right side, you know that those are babies growing in there. It's really cool. You can often feel the babies at the very end of the pregnancy. You can always feel the rumen moving. It moves up and down and left and right, and it rolls around, and it almost feels like a baby sometimes. But it is the rumen working through lunch. She likes it when I rub her rumen. When I first got Fancy Girl and brought her home, I was so worried that eating the lush vegetation on our pasture was going to give her an upset belly, so I would massage her rumen like 3 times a day. Oh, Yes, goats fart. Shady girl, say excuse me. Excuse me. I'm actually looking at a distant cousin of Shady Girl right now on a ad that I'm really tempted to purchase with my tax returns, because Shady has been such a wonderful goat. She's from Soda Lines, and that's what this other goat is from, and she's available right now, and she's in milk. And you know that we've had the dilemma of what are we going to do about milk, because we had to dry off skinny little Fancy 2 here, go all the way in, and drying off Fancy 2 means that we'll have no milk. This is Shady's last week of being milked, and then she dries off for letting the kids use all of her energy to grow and become healthy babies. So we've got to let her have all that nutrition for her babies, so we don't want to milk her out anymore. So it's a hard decision. It's a big chunk of money to put down on a goat and milk from really great milk lines, but it would be a huge herd improvement, and I do have tax returns coming. So something we always do with our tax returns is almost all of it gets reinvested back into the farm so that we can build a little bit up each year. And it's really shown that it's working for us. The purchases that we've made when we get our tax returns have been incredibly helpful for building our business, and that is our main goal right now, is to get this business built up. It's really hard for a low-income family to build a business, so those tax returns are priceless for the extra stuff that we need, like adding another goat in milk that's going to improve our herd lines. She's a very nice looking goat, so I'm looking at it. We'll see. I always look, you know, and it's hard to make that final decision because I don't like spending money. I don't ever spend any money, but when I do, it's usually for very good purchases. So I'm out here running around in the wetness on a Sunday. Usually Ryan does the chores on Sunday, but he had Friday off of work because they ran out of jobs, which has been happening a lot. He hasn't had a full 40-hour week yet. This is part of the reason why we're looking for a better job. But because he is such an amazing man and farmer, he has insisted on doing all the chores the last 2 days. Even though I normally do them on Friday, he was like, no, I'm home, I'll do it. So I said, today, you rest. I'm gonna do all the chores. And so I'm trying to get goats and chickens both done. Ooh, this is a heavy tractor. I gotta use 2 hands for that one. Goats and chicken chores all done so that the rest of the day can be spent enjoying our Sunday. We are going to be making some yummy food for the Super Bowl. We're not huge football fans. I am a little bit, but I haven't been watching as of late. Life's just been too busy, and Ryan hasn't been that interested, so it's not as fun to watch when you don't have somebody to watch with you. Ooh, you're gonna have to come forward even more. That's a slope. There we go. Don't want to leave any gaps under the tractors. It is really wet and muddy, so they have to move right now. And anywho, it just so happens that the New England Patriots are my team, because I grew up in New England cheering for the Patriots. And I'm lucky because they always go to the Super Bowl. And Super Bowl's always fun to watch for just the fun ads and the halftime show, and it's just fun, and I like the food. So we always do a little family Super Bowl party, and I'm caught up on the other tractor, so let me put this camera down. But we're gonna make some wings, some bratwurst, and some guacamole because the avocados were on sale. I'm excited. I think I'm more excited about the food than the game. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Silly girls. All right. Get back, get back. They're like, we don't want to come out. It's wet, Mommy. They don't like it when it's wet. But they need to. All right, I just got to get Fancy Two's coat on her. She's usually pretty good about it. She doesn't mind putting it on. I think she knows it's helping her. Oh, my girls. I just love all my girls. So sweet. So sweet. Good girls. I love being out with my goats. I told Ryan, I said, no, I want to go milk. I miss my babies. Yeah, I miss my girls. Gotta give everybody some extra love. Yeah, you didn't get all this extra attention from Mommy the last 2 days because I didn't milk you and I didn't put you out. Oh, Shady, you look big. Look at that beautiful belly. You see what I mean about left is lunch? She just finished eating, so her left side is bigger. Rocky, you're not looking very big yet, but you're getting there. Kitty, on the other hand, is looking very big, and her udder is beginning to develop just a little bit. Not a lot. But she is definitely going to be having some kids for us soon. We don't know when. She was the one goat that I did not put on the calendar when I marked everybody's birthdays. Now look at this Cinnamon. Sweet little baby boy. Still nuzzling on his mama. You sweet boy. It looks like I got those horns good, maybe. Robert said he'll take you if you don't have ugly horns. Otherwise, you're going to have to go to freezer camp, and I don't want that. I don't know why I don't want that. I know I want the meat. I just don't want it to be my own babies. It's hard. It's hard making these decisions. You babies are pretty. I love my goats. Sister A is looking pretty wide, too. Hi, girl. You got a big belly. I hope you're going to give us some spotted does. You're so big. So left is lunch. Yeah, she's definitely got. And she's due March 9th. So that would make sense for the size her belly is. And I want to say I remember putting Kitty in the buck pan before Sister A came. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I need to go back and watch some videos from that time period and see if I talked about Kitty going in the buck pen. And I think that's what happened with me not writing it down on the calendar. I think I said to myself, oh, well, I can just go back and look at the video and know when I did this. Yeah, do you know how hard it is to go back and look at a video when I put out so many a week? Not as easy as it sounds. The other day I wanted to find a video because Jason at Cog Hill Farm has labeled himself the dancing farmer, and I was like, hey, wait a minute, I was the first one to do that when I danced in my farm, in my barn. And I couldn't remember the title of the video or when it was, and so luckily Cher at Two Family Homestead figured it out, and she gave me the link, and I was like, how did you do that? You knew which one it was. So I've been teasing him that I was the OG. I'm the original dancing farmer. Mrs. Duck! Come out wherever you are. Mrs. Duck, where are you? You can come out now. Oh, jeepers. I'm thinking she's up in there somewhere in that dense underbrush on a nest, because anytime I would see her lately before she went missing, she'd be right here in this little nook of trees on the edge of the water. So I really think she's got a nest somewhere up in there, and it gets real thick in there, so it could have been missed when Ryan went looking. He did go looking, tried to find any signs of her, and no sign is good news, because if a predator got her, there would have been evidence of that. For those of you interested in the elderberry orders, I have all of those emails marked. I am waiting until the proper time to cut these cuttings. I have been doing additional research beyond what I already knew about elderberry cuttings and such. And it sounds like the consensus is that it's better to do it when early spring. So we're getting really close, but I want to make sure that the stems are not frozen when I cut them, because that could cause damage to the plant itself and it might not grow as well. So I'm looking for the optimum time, and I'm also creating a growing guide so that you guys will have that information in a document available to you. So that'll be good. If I have not received an email at wholesomerootsblog@gmail.com, then I do not have you down for any elderberries. So I have all of those emails as they come in, I have put into a special folder. So you will be addressed when I have pricing figured out. I'm looking at different ways of shipping, trying to find the most affordable way so that you guys don't have to spend that much on shipping, and getting all the details worked out. And I will be letting everybody know all at once. So if you haven't heard back from me, it's because I don't have anything official to report. This is my update to you. So while it's great that I have a ton of eggs now coming in, we got over a dozen eggs every day now. The bad part is my closest local market doesn't open until June. So I think I'm gonna reach out to some of my farming friends and see if any of them want to carry our eggs. Now that I have the license, I think I can do that. I think that's doable. So got all the chores done, ready to go in and maybe start making some wings as a early dinner. I don't know if I can wait. Oh, if I make the guacamole now, it'll be gone before the game starts. So I'm holding off on that. But I hope you guys have a great day. Hope you've enjoyed watching. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. Support our channel in any way that you feel comfortable with. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on Wholesome Roots.